Hey, what's going on, everybody? Long time no see. This battle in the background is an old one I had on Battle Spot uh, probably a month or two ago. Just a random passerby. But it's just kind of here in the background. I don't think I'm going to be narrating it or anything. What I want to talk about is maybe a channel update. I guess it's been quite some time since I've had any kind of upload and really nothing since the GBA in terms of Pokemon content. Partly because I don't have a capture board. Not only are they really hard to get nowadays, but they're really not worth it for someone like me who probably won't be uploading super consistently, doesn't plan on streaming or really even making money off YouTube. It's not like I'm going to be uploading constantly and getting that sweet ad revenue or anything like that. So the capture board itself really isn't something that matters to me too much, and I hate bugging my friends constantly for it. So hopefully iPhone quality works. In the future, I'll probably get borders going and set it up a little better. It's kind of just a jerry-rigged tripod. So you'll see it moving around just a little bit. But anyway, that is not why we are here. So, what is the state of this channel? What am I planning on doing with it? Well, we're going to talk about that. And I doubt everyone will be here the entire time that I'm talking. But if you stick around, great. If you have suggestions or anything, throw that down in the comments too. But anyway, I've got a few things going on. The first is I still like to battle. I still battle kind of consistently. I know I did all of the battle spot tournaments that went on for Sun and Moon, outside of the tiny tournament being that I was out of town, and then the 5 weakness tournament because I was also out of town. But I still do that, and I still battle some friends, somewhat occasionally, or try to look for stuff on Passerby or anything like that. But with Worlds, I got from this past weekend, I got the itch again for VGC play. Now, I don't normally play too much VGC. I'm a singles player through and throughout. I have been since I essentially played the game, and only very, very occasionally dabble in doubles. And really not even up until X and Y, where I played very little, and then in Sun and Moon, I've played a handful of games here and there, but I've been out of the meta for quite some time for doubles. But as always, the Worlds tournament comes around, everyone wants to play VGC again, and here I am talking about it while uploading a non-VGC game. But anyway, what I was thinking about bringing back to the channel, outside of just battles that when I have them that are decent, but it's also maybe doing some VGC play as well. Not necessarily a road to VGC or top 10 or anything like that, but just some VGC play, maybe team building battles, stuff like that. Because one of the good ways to get better at a format you're unfamiliar with is to do it, as well as to watch other people doing it, and not necessarily struggle together, but learn together. It's a lot easier when you have examples when you go into matches of situations that you've either seen or have an idea of than when you go in blind. So I figured maybe that would be kind of fun. Also go maybe in a bit into team building. I used to pride myself in my team building ability, and then I joined the GBA, and I feel like that's when it all went downhill. And that's not even to say my team building in the GBA was bad, but it was more so that I got so used to team building in league format that just team building for standard became really difficult, because now I'm like, well, what do I use? I got all these options that I didn't have before. You're not counter teaming. So I need to get back into that, and I figured the best way to get back into that is to simply just continue to do it, and the more you do it, the better you get again. And it's fun to use new things, and the tiers are always changing, which helps a lot. I've lost a lot of my competitive Sun and Moon teams strictly due to tier changes. I know I don't have any RU or UU teams currently, simply because of stuff getting bumped out of the tier or new things being brought in, things like that nature. So that was kind of one of the things I've been tossing around, is maybe do just a VGC series, a singles series as well. Maybe do some team building. and just kind of uploading battles, no real schedule or anything like that. Just kind of when I get them, when I get a good battle, because there's no point in watching a battle that no one wants to, or that's boring to watch to begin with. It's boring to narrate. And one of the big things that I've noticed for battles is a lot of people don't seem to actually go into detail outside of a handful of why they did certain moves or what they were thinking, things they noticed. And I feel like that's really how you ascend to that next skill level is by getting to that thought process of, well, I did this because of this. Not everything is I over predicted or my opponent didn't predict or anything like that. It's easy in hindsight when you're watching it back to say, yeah, I predicted this switch in, or, oh, I just over predicted this and that's why it didn't work out for me. Sometimes you make a bad play. Sometimes your opponent plays better than you. Sometimes you lost a 50-50 type situation. And I don't feel that many people really go into the details as to how those situations come about or what led them to those situations. So that would be the style of commentary that it would be. And we'd kind of go from there and see where the appeal is. I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to set a schedule. I don't want to really set anything up that puts me on a consistent schedule because I don't really have a consistent schedule to be able to do that for YouTube. I'm all over the place. Times are always different, in which I have free time. So we just kind of go as we went and just do it for fun. Maybe that's something that's missing, especially with the way YouTube has been lately, where once the monetary value became a thing, it seemed like everyone was just doing stuff for views, and we just bring it back to the old days of just having fun, uploading battles, and doing that kind of thing. The other thing that I would like to talk about is the podcast-like series that I had kind of started and toyed around with called Thoughts About Everything. Now, for the handful of people that have actually watched some of my content, you'll probably notice that there's only about 3, maybe 4 videos for Thoughts About Everything, and they kind of just abruptly stopped. There is a reason for that. Time became very difficult to allocate to the nature of that kind of podcast. That was something that when I did it, I wanted it to be as professionally done, but more so as well thought out as possible. I didn't want to just rush a product. I didn't want to give misleading information. I wanted to know my material and be able to source it and be able to educate on what I was talking about instead of just spewing clickbait, headlines, or buzzwords or anything like that. I feel an informed opinion is a better opinion and it helps move conversations. But as I kind of went on with it too and started realizing it at the time, I also started not liking the format that I had chosen. So I have kind of retooled how I want to start that back up again. And for the most part, that's done. That retooling is done. I have a new format idea, a new structure. I have a game plan in place for whenever I do start, but I'm kind of hesitant about it, mainly because of the current political climate, I guess, that we're currently in. Not specifically in reference to politics in political climate, but political climate in terms of everything on the internet seems like a witch hunt these days if people don't agree with you. And that has kind of made me hesitant to go into any of the topics that I really want to dive into and go into because especially with Twitter, and I know Twitter is, it's the own unique shell, but YouTube can be pretty cancerous as well. And that's one of the things that's concerning in a sense that you never want to just put something out there that's ill-informed that could completely backfire on you if the wrong people see it and it's taken the wrong way. Now, I know that I'm extrapolating a lot here saying that, oh, if the wrong people or if something goes viral, being that the channel I have is arguably dead and really small, but I'm just thinking in a grander scheme because you never know what gets picked up in terms of traction. So I'm still kind of toying on that and how I want to do it, but I do have a new format. If there would be interest in that, drop a comment down saying you'd be curious about that. But like I said, it's something I've been toying with, something I want to do. I have a new format set up for it. I haven't pulled the trigger because I'm not quite sure how exactly I want to handle it and certain topics. And they wouldn't be all political because heaven forbid we don't get enough of that now. But just the nature of the topics, you never know how people react to not even hot takes, but just things that they don't want to hear if they fall into your own echo or out of your echo chamber. But other than that, I think that's everything I wanted to talk about. It's really kind of just an update video. I understand this is kind of a long-winded update. I probably could have taken this video and sped it up, but I'm not here to do that today. I just kind of want to get back into the swing of things, using the programs again, talking in front of a mic again. Getting the gears unrusted a bit. But we'll finish this battle off. As anyone's watching, it was essentially OU, but it wasn't Smogan OU. He had a Mega Lucario. I don't think it was EV trained because the Iron Tail to Tapu Fini did almost nothing, and that probably shouldn't happen. But with Battle Spot, or with not even Battle Spot, but on Passerby, you never really know how your opponent's going to play. So you kind of just play in what's in front of you till you get a feel for what is going on. So that explains some of the plays. I know I could have done a lot of stuff different watching this back in terms of how I could have won this battle much quicker. But again, you never really know who you're playing until you get into the battle. That's half the fun of I think playing friends of your own skill level, just because then you know how they're going to play in terms of skill. But as we finish this off, let me know if you did watch all the way what you'd be more interested in seeing, if it would be VGC, if it'd be singles in certain tiers, if it would be a handbag of things, if you're curious to see what I've gotten planned and in store, thoughts about everything, stuff like that, what you've been up to, what new channels you might think are interested to watch, regardless of the format. I know League play has become huge ever since Magnitude really brought that full circle with the GBA and the exposure. So I'm glad that's getting healthy, but I got some opinions on how League play's been going too. So who knows? We might do some more in-depth Pokemon talk in some of the videos over battles instead of just commentating too. We'll play it by ear, maybe do some roundtable type stuff. But I've talked long enough, and we'll see where we go from here. Who knows? This might be an upload, and you might not hear from me for another couple months too. You never know how that's going to go. But it is what it is. YouTube is YouTube, and the grind is always there, whether or not you want it to be. So I'll talk to you guys later.